And in today's Tech for Good, we are spotlighting environmentalist Siya Ntsumpa for his passion for eradicating food insecurity through, who's also a founder and CEO of Giving Them Wings Foundation, a non-profit organization that adopts schools in the Eastern Cape for sustainable living projects. Through his work, Siya has become an award-winning environmentalist recognized nationally for his work in food security, recycling, and environmental education. Some of his achievements include the Western National Youth Award that he won in 2021, 40 under 40 as a finalist in the environmental category in 2023. Siya has extended his work by leveraging his TikTok platform to reach and teach communities how to create sustainable food projects. Siya, how are you?
I'm well. Thank you so much for having me on your program on this wonderful Sunday morning. How are you? Are you good?
I'm okay. Can't complain.
Awesome. Awesome. Thank you for that nice introduction.
Did you like it?
It was very flattering. Thank you.
Sia, tell us about the Giving Them Wins Foundation. What exactly do you guys do there?
Giving the Wings Foundation really started 12 years ago, where I was volunteering at township schools as an individual. And I sort of picked up the challenges around food security, around poverty, and what poverty meant for learners in the classroom. And also, one of the other challenges was waste. Schools dealing with an extraordinary amount of waste generated in schools, and also illegal dumping sites around schools. And I really wanted to play a role to fight these issues. So we started a program. I started a program in one of the schools, and it was a food gardening program and a recycling program. And it did really well. It did really well. We were able to sustain it for a short period of time. And then as it grew, we realized, it's like raising a child. The more it grows, the more it demands. And the project really needed more resources. We needed water tanks. We needed resources. We needed tools. That's when I went further to investigate legitimizing a nonprofit, and that's how Giving Them Wings was born. And it's really ballooned from there. It started with one school, and we went to another school, and then another school, and the program grew from school to school. We are now operating in the Eastern Cape, and we are operating in Gauteng. We have a school in Katlehong that we work with, Marijaneng, and we have other schools around Tembisa that we support periodically. But we are mainly focused in the Eastern Cape, in Gqeberha, where we operate in about 30 to 35 schools.
Eh, I just want to talk about the incorporation of social media and what that has done for your movement.
Yes. Social media is a very important tool in the work that we do, because the work that we do relies on public support, whether it is financial, whether it is time, volunteering. So it's social media becomes a nice way of communicating with what we're doing with the public, and the importance of what we're doing. We've learned along the way how to use platforms, what not to say, what to say, how to share pictures, also the privacy and the protection of, because we work with kids, we work with learners in schools. It's very important to be aware of all the components of social media. But in general, social media is a huge part of the work. My team and I actually dedicate a day in the week for social media content creation and building our platforms on the social media.
I like the fact that you're mentioning the how part, because even this is a question I asked last week around this feature to say we are sharers and we want to share the good, but there's laws that govern these people that we serve, because we serve them with, and we myself am involved because this is collaborative. I get to hear what you do.
Yes,
We also have to share it on YouTube and probably have to share it
yes,
on social media. There's a big responsibility around serving people with dignity, their
absolutely,
dignity. And it's
absolutely.
important that you mentioned the how part,
Mm,
being cognizant of how and what you share. Not at their expense, but also you also want to spread this work that you do. How have
absolutely.
you been able to achieve that, in that this that you're doing has been able to kind of spread then to other communities, using the reach that you have?
You know, a lot of learning has taken place around how to operate social media and how to use it as a tool. I'll give some examples. You know, we do our service is for young people. We mentor young people in food gardening, in recycling, in waste management. These are areas that are important for young people to learn early on. So when we incorporate our work onto that social media space, we do receive a lot of criticism because some people interpret it in their own way. We've had a lot of criticism of why we use kids to work in school gardens, why we use kids to participate in cleanups. A lot of that has come from social media. But you know, research from the World Economic Forum, from other bodies, tell us that when young people grow vegetables, they are more likely to eat vegetables than the child who has parents buying vegetables at the shops. When kids participate in external programs that involve touching soil, etc., they are more in touch and more grounded. There was a study that was recently done of the uses of gardening on mental health, for example. So these are all challenges that, or these are all aspects of our work that are usually challenged in social media, on social media, but it gives us the platform to educate people further.
Yeah.
It gives us the opportunity to engage with people to say, actually, no, this isn't child labor. What our schools are telling us is that kids who participate in these programs display changes in behavior even in the classroom. Kids who participate in cleanups come to school with more information about the dangers of having litter outside. You know, we work in communities where kids, unfortunately, without awareness, will pick up something at a dumping site and it looks edible. They taste, they eat. We had a case last year where a learner passed away actually from picking something up at a dumping site.
Sure.
So when we expose this work on social media through all of our platforms, we get to educate people on the importance of why we educate kids from a very early age. So I think that is a very important aspect that people take for granted. A lot of things, the downside of social media is that everything happens so quickly. I always say this to the kids: you're swiping, you're swiping up, you're swiping up, you're swiping down, you're swiping down, and a lot of things happen so quickly that you take information for granted. So
Yeah.
part of our work with social media is slowing people down in their responses to social issues and making people understand the nitty-gritties of participation and ownership.
Absolutely. So, and then the question that then this brings is, I mean, your team have their work cut out for them, especially where children are involved,
Mm.
because it's always a touchy, sensitive subject. How do you
Subject,
filter
absolutely.
the noise? Because you might end up spending hours trying to justify why you're showing children,
Absolutely. Absolutely.
you know, when you could
Oh,
actually
you
just
are
be doing
absolutely
the
right.
job.
You are absolutely right. So, as a personal preference, there are platforms, and I'm not going to mention, there are platforms that I stay away from because I've found that, as you put it, there's so much noise that, you'll find that you actually spending time defending
Defending.
yourself rather than doing the awareness that you want. There are other platforms. For example, TikTok has been an amazing educational platform, and also as well as Instagram, platforms that are more positive, that where people actually receive the messages that you are trying to convey. A lot of people on social media really just try to, you know, be funny for the sake of likes and trending. So we've learned for us which platforms work and which platforms don't work. So that's really important, and identifying where your people are. I always say that I have a tribe on my social media, and you'll find. Oh, sorry, let me switch off my phone. Yeah, so it's important to know where to look for the platforms that work for you.
It's okay, see, just attend to your phone. You can put it on silent, or yes, switch it off. We're speaking to Siya this morning on Tech for Good. It's Siya Ntsumpa from the movement, Giving Them Wings. Are you back now?
I'm back. I'm so sorry about that.
All good. Okay, Siya. So, with the traction that you have given, I'm sure the end goal is to grow it bigger in terms of garnering support on your side, so that it's maybe easier than to reach and be able to grow this movement. Just curiously, I wonder, then is it important, and I'm hoping this also will help someone who's running something similar or something different, but using places like Facebook, to kind of grow instead of just sharing for the sake of sharing, and bringing awareness to what they do. Is it better to delete negative comments? Does it affect you on the other side, who is trying to see maybe they can get a fund, or other people to adopt the schools? Because then you
That's
don't know, do they go to the comment section to check what people are saying and stuff like that?
from my experience, and it's a great thing that you've mentioned funders. Some of my partners have come to us after seeing our social media. We've worked on a very small project with one of the national banks in the past, and the regional manager saw us on Instagram, and she still follows us today. I don't delete negative comments, because also remember, for the sake of partners and for other NGOs and funding and all of that, one of the things that you have to consider is risk. And the negative comments might be negative, but they do highlight the risk factor. With every project, your funder is going to ask you, what are the risks connected with this? Because they will want to know what will be damaging to their brand and to their name, and association with you. What does it mean? And it's not a realistic thing to always be showing the good news and the positive side, especially if you're running a community project. So I don't hide the bad stuff, but it's always easy to see something that is malicious versus something that is a genuine concern. So even with those negative comments, I really don't worry, because we don't attract malicious people more than we attract people who are high. For example, I'll give an example. When we first started posting on social media, we were doing a cleanup. I remember this because it's one of the lessons I learned. And one of the pictures I posted were of the kids not wearing gloves. And the downside of the picture was that the kid was wearing a glove on one hand, where he was using to pick up the material, but on the other hand, he was just holding the plastic bag and he wasn't wearing a glove. Not that they weren't supplied with gloves, but those generic plastic gloves tend to break. And in that particular moment, that's another lesson you learn when you're running projects, is that you might capture a nice moment, but a moment tells a very, very, very long story. So working with social media, one has to be aware that it might be a moment, a picture of a moment, but people read so many different
Yeah.
things into it. So those are the lessons that we picked up. We've never really had a solid, story without any incidents or learning moments. There are always learning moments, and the important thing is to embrace embrace those. So part of what we do now, whenever we will be involving kids in external cleanups, we have a designated person who looks after PPE, something that we took for granted in the beginning. We have someone who, if we're having kids out for an hour, we need to make sure that throughout that hour, our kids are covered with gloves. If the gloves breaks, then the designated person to make sure that we replenish, and just making sure that everything is a-okay for everybody participating.
Thank you so much for talking to us. Quite eye-opening as well for people that use social media, that it's all you at that moment, being in that moment, but you have all kinds of viewers with all kinds of voices. And I'm glad that you
Absolutely.
call them teachable moments, because that's what they are.
Yes. Oh, absolutely. There've been a lot. There've been a lot, and I support. I encourage people, especially who are in business and community development, use social media. It's a very, very important tool, but you learn how to use it, and you learn what to avoid in the process.
Yeah. All right. Thank you for talking to us. All the best. And I'm actually following you now as we speak. Thank you, Siya, for talking to us.
Oh, awesome. Awesome. Thank
Yeah.
you so much.
All
Thank you so
right.
much for the
And that was Siya Ntsumpa, who is founder of Giving Them Wings. He's also an environmentalist, and we're just focusing on the good that happens online for a change. We are going to take a break in a short while, just in a few minutes. We're going to take a break, and when we come back, we are going into the conversation around there is a global tech industry that is really booming, which is e-commerce online. So Sheila is a solution consultant who designs solutions and builds customer support system that create support apps and AI in the form of bots, if you may, to automate these businesses online. If you are like Siya and you have a movement that you are spearheading, please do reach out to us. We would love to hear all about it. We also have a WhatsApp line. You know that. It's +27 832886684. Let's share that number again. +27 832886684.